Hi, good morning. I would like to talk about the topic today. It's two of my maestro that always together. Uh, Grandmaster o Maestro Jose Dimasaka o Peping Dimasaka and Rufino Pining Absin. Uh, both of them uh, taught me Siete Palo or the Paete style of uh, Arnis Di Mano. This is the one that everybody's following. Anyway, on 1978, after the tournament, in Siniluan, they see, they see that I'm really, really serious about training. And Maestro Jose Dimasaka told me that there's some point that I need uh, to focus. If I really want to learn, the Paete way or the Siete Palo that everybody's practicing. Anyway, most of the time the the maestro is teaching teaching on the house of Rufino Absin. Most of them, so sometimes they're five, sometimes they're six. But Maestro Jose Dimasaka and Maestro Pining Absin is always together. I never have, probably have few solo training under each one of them, but most of the time there are two of them all the time. So there's few. Very rare though. I always have to go to Maestro Pining Absin and Maestro Peping Dimasaka was there. So the training is very different. Why? Because if I get there at a little early, because they usually come over there around 8:30. So I'll get around 7:30. I will work for an hour, and Grandmaster Rufino Absin would give me something to do or an exercise to do right in front of the house by myself. Either would be footwork, strike, or even just the body angling. Yeah, so that's how my training goes. And as soon as other maestro get there, then I would stop for a while because I want to wait for the instruction that they have to give me. Morning. So for an hour and a half, Maestro Jose Dimasaka would take over, and while the other maestro was talking, I was just being coached and guided by Maestro Jose Dimasaka. And after an hour and a half, Maestro Pining Absin would take over, and I being coached and guided by Maestro Pining. And basically every day, because they usually every day they meet, different maestro, but every day I would pass by and see if they're gonna be there, and train. Because there's time that Maestro Pining is not feeling well. He has a little sugar problem. He's old at the time, so they need to maintain his physical at the same time. The wife of Rufino Absin is happened to be a grandmother of my wife, Becky. Dada Maring. Always telling me that, okay, he need to eat first, okay, and then I would work for about an hour outside, waiting for him to finish his dinner. Sometimes they ask me if I ate dinner already, and most of the time I ate dinner, so I don't need to join him. I just have to be outside training. And training is just like that. You know, our relationship is really student-instructor relationship. You know, I'm being taught or told what to do, and I just follow. I don't have a right to ask questions. Just waiting for the job or exercise that I need to do that day. And once in a while, he will get up and really work hard with me. But maybe out of an hour and a half, he would pick up a stick for 30 minutes. And that's what the old man is. Again, you have to understand. He's under the condition already when I start training with him. So they're really not Maestro Jose, pinning Absin. I'm talking about that under the condition already. He's sickly already. Remember they're in late 70s at the time, or 70s. They're old. So Maestro Jose is very strong. He always always have to be physical with me. Because he wants me to really work so hard. The only thing that with Maestro Jose, when he's teaching like very slow, the way slow pace. He wants you to understand every single detail. When he give you number, he give you 1, then he give you 2. Then work on that, 1 and 2. Then cut off, then 2 and 3. Then sometimes we stop for one number, just one number, and do it in one angle and different body position. It's like, okay, do this to the right angle like this, and do this to the left angle like this. But in the same position, you just need to learn the body structure when I was learning with him. I start feeling the real training is when Maestro Peping Dimasaka starts really sparring with me. Because most of the training is coach, then spar. Coach, then spar. He'll give you some pointers and then spar again. For an hour to 2 hours every night. If I get lucky, sometimes it's 4 hours and a half. If I stay around. Because, there's time that they're telling me to leave. I guess when they're trying to do some, private lessons with among themselves. But I would come, I sit down, wait for the guidance of each maestro. And everybody knows that when I get there, the maestro that will teach me is Maestro Peping Dimasaka and pinning Absin. Because I have several days that I goes to Maestro Victor David, Indo Apungul, and Vicente Apungul. So you can see that all of them will watch me learn from Maestro Jose and Maestro Pinning. But sometimes when they will coach me during the sparring time, they will tell me anything. But they're not the major instructor at the time. So the whole coaching has to be leave behind to Maestro Pinning Absin and Jose Dimasaka. Yeah, training is on and on like that. The thing that I like about Maestro Pinning is he's bluntly straightforward to me that he cannot teach me empty hand. because of his limited grip. He has only 3 fingers on this side and 3 fingers on the other side. So he got an accident when during his 30s, and lost 2 of his fingers on both hands. It's very easy to get a story about it. They said that he fought a Japanese and fought a samurai against Bolo. That's the story that they will give it to me. And naturally, Maestro Pining Absin is joke a lot. And so I took that joke, as real. So for a year and a half, I was thinking that, man, Maestro Pining really fought a Japanese, imperial officer, samurai against Bolo. And I just, thought lives like that, thinking that, oh man, that my maestro is really good, Then one day, after 1 year, or after 2 years, one of maestro broke the truth, and they were laughing. Even Grandmaster Pining was laughing. Then I talked to my dad about it, and my dad was laughing also because apparently this is happening in Mindoro, where my in Mindoro Island, where Maestro Pining Absin's daughter is living. One day they went to, I guess, fishing, and they're using dynamite. And as he reached over to a place where they keep the dynamite, one of the dynamite exploded, and both of his hand was, the damage. And that's what the real story is. But I always tell everybody that joke because he meant it as a joke, not meant to fool me, because he's really a comedian. He's a very good comedian, but very strict instructor. Yeah, I was scared of him for quite some time before I become comfortable, But Maestro Jose Dimasaka, since I also realized that he's not from Paete. He's not born and raised in Paete. He was born in Santa Cruz, Laguna. So he came to Paete, lived there because of the wife. And that's why I realized that he has a different flavor of anise. Mix it up with a little bit of Santa Cruz style. But he's still in Laguna, His empty hand is very good. His lock control is very good. And he don't have name for it. He just came mano-mano. He never give me any name of the techniques anyway, And he just said, when I was training under his father, and there are several brothers of them, they used to work on mano-mano, punch, kick, lock, and all of those, because most of the time they said you're not gonna have weapon, or you are gonna be no weapon and the person is gonna have weapon. So that's the part of training I enjoy to Maestro Peping Dimasaka. It's an eye-opening. Why? Because there's so many luck that you think you already luck, you could still escape. And there's so many escape that also could be luck again. So you have to be careful as escaping, But his numero, who is numbering on the empty hand, it's quite nice. Why? Because they teach you a simple number of 5 on the hand. A simple number. You have punch, you have punch, you have slap, of course, you have back piece, you have hammer, and the last one is the elbow. That's it, So you have slap, you have punch, you have hammer, you have back piece, and elbow. That's it. Very simple process. He said you start with either hammer or slap. You go from here or slap. Oh, and then the same thing is the other one is a backhand or hammer also, or slap to the reverse. So it's very simplified, all of the thing, but the movement is left, left, right, and then he don't use uppercut. I never see him said that uppercut is from the close range. So we never get to uppercut or the upper strike. Everything that he taught me is forward. Everything is forward, backhand, elbow and elbow down, elbow side, and that's what I figure out. When I was learning under him, he said that so this is a long range way. You're from the long range, you move in and you do it and you move out again. So you cannot really apply this punch, effectively if it's constantly blocking. That's what he said. So if you go close range, controlling the hand is more important to him. Controlling the person's hand is more important than just keep punching. And he said, no, when you control the guy and you have available a punch, then you punch. And that's what main training under him. He has 2 kicks. That's it. He teach me 2 kick, front kick, and the cat kick that we do, the common thing. And he never lied to me about he's limited on kicking. But that's all he do is break a limb or break the structure when he kick. So no added improvise technique on kicking. He said, I'll teach you a very simple one, front kick, and the kick that you use the knee. You kick the knee like this, So he's very seldom talk about it, actually, when he only use it when he's too close to me to disarm. And then he said, when you're disarming me, I will kicking you. But also, he said, never attempt to disarm. Both of them ensure that I don't attempt to disarm. They will demonstrate disarming just to have something, right, for me to use if it comes to too close and I need to disarm. He makes sure that I understand how the hand hold the weapon and how to get the weapon there, rather than giving me 100 technique of disarm. He give me only few, maybe 5 disarm to 6, and that's it. But most of them is similar, so he don't even give a name of this technique. Why? Because the name of the way of disarm. He just said disarming could be a different way. If you hold the fulcrum of your hand, you can grab it with the other hand, or use his body, or use your shoulder, use my knee. So the most important is controlling that hand, and then disarming is easy, I like that training. Why? Because it's simplified. I don't have to remember numbers, nor I have to remember names. It's very hard to remember number and names when you have a bunch of instructors like that. The good part is every time I have the opportunity to spar, I have so many coaches. So I would focus on who's makes sense, at the time. They will throw a coaching routine for me and tell me, okay, if you strike like this, you go this way, you got that way. And remember, sometimes it's 3 of them, 4 of them talking at the same time. I cannot just listen to one. I have to listen to 3. And the training on that is, he said that you have to be able to train your ears when you are fighting. in multiple way, not only one way. That's why they confuse me like that. They're talking to me sometimes in 3 times, or sometimes both 5 of them talking to me at the same time while I was sparring. You know, they're screaming at me, telling me what to do. So confusing me is one of the strategy for them to teach me how to become focused. My brain and my ears has to be focused on my goal, not their goal, because their goal can be confusing, you know. And that's what I realized, you know, later when Maestro Peping Dimasaka talked to me and he said, why you are being coached and why you're being screamed at? Oh, they're screaming at me during the sparring time. They're calling my name, telling me to strike, telling me not to strike, telling me to strike low, strike high. All of them have different word to use that to confuse me. And while my opponent, he has a goal. He, to defeat me. So my brain is confused, but at the end of the day, I become so used to many people screaming. So when I went on the tournament, I realized that audience scream, telling you what to do, and telling you, some of them put you down, telling you that you are going to be lost already, telling you, it's like cheering for the other side. It's so hard to focus when somebody's cheering on the other side. You know, it's like screaming at them. It's like putting your motivation. It's like putting your innovation to the positive, negative 2. Shit, man, it's like, what the heck? I have no one cheerleader. No one's cheering for me, because most of my instructor when I fight, they're quiet on the corner. They're not the type of instructor that scream. My dad, in a sense, is always in the corner looking at me. That's why I look at my dad, you know. But once the round is over, that's the time I hear them talk. And during the time, they'll talk nicely to me. Nicely. They're telling me what's really happening. Calm, nice. It's not like when they teach me, they're screaming and they sound like, when you feel like their sound is like blaming you, even you're winning. No, I don't feel that. I feel now lift you up, lift your spirit when they're coaching you. Everything you do is feel like right to them. They're telling me that I'm doing it right. They're just coaching me. They want to lift up my spirit, even though that I'm doing wrong. They don't want to say that I'm doing wrong, because that will put my spirit down. So that's how I learned how they coach. Different instructor, different way, but most of them has one way to develop my, to encourage my my spirit back up. Because there's time that I feel like I'm losing, because I don't see what they see outside of the ring or outside of the stage, but they see it. They're telling me, no, you're winning, but make sure you keep that winning, point. You don't allow him to, to get you. And they would tell me, what the next move. And right there, I'll pick it up, and use one of their famous defense. And that's what I become, to them, it's like experimental, Most of them is thinking, okay, it's my technique now. You use thing and it works, but this one will work for you too. Come on, get it in there and use it. So all in all, my experience to Maestro Pinning Absin and Maestro Peping Dimasaka, it's quite fruitful. Never a dull moment with the both of them. They're always laughing, always giving me some sort of encouragement, and not only in our niche, but in life. Because, you know, training with them, I was, you know, lost teenager. You know, that's the time that I was lost. In fact, they almost banned me for coming to train because of I ran away. I ran away with girls, and that's what they get upset. You know, because they're all considered as my father. But anyway, I survived, and I really thank them. If you like what you hear, please subscribe on this channel. Okay? So this is Gat Puno saying goodbye for now. Okay? Goodbye.